Alright, how we doing, folks? Your bull Marcos 18205 numbers after the name. And if you can follow my Freestyle Fridays, man, I've been throwing up over there that Bloodborne. I mean, this is actually the final boss of Bloodborne, man. I beat it the other day. Like last week, I beat it or whatever. I actually didn't have a games beaten, I think, for the first time this year. Last week, I was so immersed in Bloodborne, I didn't have time to like even play anything throughout the weekend. I've been playing this literally for like 3 weeks. I gave it a 10 out of 10. It's everything that has been hyped up to be. And more. I think it does take a certain kind of person and, you know, just time, space, and logic to figure this game out. It is not easy. I want to say this without sounding too crude here. I don't find it to be the most difficult game ever. I've definitely played harder. It just kind of depends on what you consider harder. For me, playing Battletoads was more difficult. I would say this might be more difficult than Ninja Gaiden on the original NES. I'll probably, like, if I had to gauge it in between that, I'd put it somewhere in between those. It definitely was one of the harder games I've played, and it's definitely the hardest modern kind of game I've played. But hard only brings one part of this whole thing. It's really one of the first games in a long time, like a really long time, where I enjoyed the boss fights, and the boss fights were clearly a highlight and clearly a point of emphasis in this game. It's been a minute, man, like since I played a game that had epic and good boss fights. Some of them are alright, you know, some of them, and I'm going to post all of them on Friday, so you can definitely check that out. I put up a couple already, and I think I'm throwing one up this Friday as well. But I'm going to keep putting up the rest of them so you kind of get my opinion on the individual ones. But for the most part, it was just like you see these things that are like 10 times as big as you, and you're like, wow, like, dang. I'm excited now to get into Dark Souls, which is different, from what I understand, slower, but hard nonetheless. I'm excited. I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. Literally, I'm going to go through that. I'm not starting it right now. In all fairness, Bloodborne had such a reaction on me, and just this grim whole sense of style and perception that this game had. I told my girl, I was like, listen, man, I'm gonna go play Ratchet & Clank after this. Never played Ratchet & Clank, actually, so I'm excited to play this kind of reboot that they did with all the changes and whatnot from the movie. But I'm like, I'm gonna go play Ratchet & Clank, which looks like a Pixar game, and just get some happiness over this. I'll probably be the next game up here unless I attack one of these NES games in the meantime. But I'm gonna take a little bit of a space between Miyazaki games, and I'll probably sneak in like Uncharted in between them. I'm giving my PS4 a lot of love lately, but I'll probably sneak in some Uncharted before I go back to Dark Souls. But it's up there on the hit list, and I'm really confident I could beat it. I'm really excited to get through it, man. Bloodborne. If you haven't checked it out and you got yourself a PS4, you're doing yourself a disservice, man. 10 out of 10 by far, and stick with it. That's the key. The Bull Marcos. Deuces.